He writes for the Marina Times, and he weighs in across social media on movies, on music. He comes to us on a rainbow. He is the culture blaster. Michael Snyder, everybody.
Hey there, Michael.
Welcome, Michael.
Well, hi, Mark, and hello, Brett.
Hello.
Greetings to John. Always good to have him back. I don't know where he was last week. I hear he was polishing his star on Hollywood Boulevard.
He had a 3-day weekend. You're right.
I took one day off.
Anyway, guys, these are perilous times. I mean, starting an unprovoked war against a sovereign democratic nation may be the ultimate human rights violation. I just hope the prosecutors in The Hague are prepping their case against the KGB, even as we sit here and talk. And meanwhile, what's even worse, we have to deal with a pierogi shortage on top of everything else.
Oh, my God. I get it. I'm sorry. All of that was a setup for the pierogi line. I see.
Not really. Yeah. Come on. I genuinely feel for all of us when this guy's like, carpet bombing nuclear power plants. We're all, whatever the heck he's doing over
definitely
there.
very, very dangerous.
Well,
by the way, declaring war on a sovereign nation going in is a tried and true American thing, too. I'll just say, I mean, sorry, maybe a topic for another time, but I'm just saying note Iraq. But,
yeah.
All right, anyway, go ahead.
Darn right. It's definitely modus operandi here in the land of the stars and the stripes. Speaking of horror and danger and negativity, and grim and gritty.
These are all things
let's talk about the big movie that's opening this weekend, shall we?
Sure.
Yeah, what is the big movie opening
Well,
this
the
weekend?
biggest movie release of the month in many ways, by the way, is The Batman. DC Comics, Dark Knight Detective, 1/3 of their trinity with Superman and Wonder Woman, and apparently the DC honchos have decided to hedge their bets on an expanded universe like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and instead they're letting people just grab one of their heroes and, if it fits into their grand plan, their larger tapestry, great. But in the case of the Batman, this is a new take on the character. Well, as new as you can get with the character that's been around for 75 years. Anyway, you will note that despite previous iterations of the character in comics, TV, and the big screen, it's not a Batman. It's the Batman. I mean, would I call that hubris on the part of the director and co-screenwriter Matt Reeves? He's the guy who reimagined and revitalized the Planet of the Apes franchise for the 21st century. Or is it hubris on the part of actor Robert Pattinson, whose previous franchise experience was as, the shiny-faced emo male teen vampire lead in the insufferable Twilight movies?
Well, okay. I mean, people liked it, though. They did multiple Twilight. I mean, he's a good actor, actually.
He's a terrific actor. If you saw him in Good Night or The Lighthouse, the guy's great. Yeah. Anyway.
By the way, hubris, Chris, he used it twice, too.
Yeah, well,
Okay, go
two
ahead.
men, two cases of potential hubris. Anyway, Pattinson's Batman, or Pattinson, Patman, what do you prefer? Anyway, him and his wealthy orphaned Bruce Wayne performance, this guy's in year 2 of his crime-fighting career in the movie, and he does cut a tragic figure. There are no examples of Adam West-style japery here. And one thing's for certain, this Batman is neck and neck with the Christopher Nolan, Christian Bale Batman for the title of Darkest Dark Knight. The Batman
those are really dark movies. Let me just interrupt you to ask you, this is the set, you're saying that it's set as he is the second year into being Batman? Is that what you mean?
It's yet another version or iteration of Batman. He's in the second year of being Batman. He's starting to deal with the darkness, if you will, of being the Dark Knight. And I have to say, the Batman certainly has a bit more of the ultra-violence, and its hero has many moments of brooding self-loathing and doubt to cast a noirish mood over all of its almost 3-hour running time. Yeah, it's 2 hours and 56 minutes long. And, by the way, its first 3 quarters are as fine and realistic a depiction of what a costume vigilante would be like when grappling with a Zodiac killer type in a corruption-drenched urban hellhole of a big city. That serial murder, that serial murderer with puzzles.
A corruption-drenched, hang on.
Urban hellhole.
A corruption-drenched urban hellhole.
Yeah, man.
Called it.
That's what Gotham City is. Let's be honest about Gotham City.
I give him a ding just on that. The writing is just too good.
Every time we go to Gotham City, we're knee-deep in crime and misery. Am I right or am I wrong?
Am I right, people? Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, the serial murderer with puzzles is a reinvented, truly dangerous version of the Riddler, here played by Paul.
It couldn't be the Joker? It has to be the Riddler?
Well,
I guess
no,
the Riddler has the puzzles.
They're different psychos. Anyway, here he's played by Paul Dano in a full-body jumpsuit, hood and goggles. There's no, question mark, sports code, or any of that crap. None of that stuff here. So forget about Frank Gorshin. Forget about, Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey was the other Riddler.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The riddle here is how'd they get away with that? Anyway, this guy's evil is counterbalanced by, obviously, the Batman and Zoe Kravitz as a cat burglar and cat lover named Selena Kyle. Guess who she is? Anyway, her own experiences as an orphan were very different from Bruce Wayne's, but create a bond between the two broken souls that ignites a little romantic fire. And you get the always great Jeffrey Wright as Bat ally and honest cop Jim Gordon from the Gotham PD, and an unrecognizable Colin Farrell chewing the scenery as mid-level mobster and club owner Oswald Cobblepot, a.k.a. the Penguin, plus the very recognizable and excellent John Turturro as the boss of bosses Carmine Falcone. Look, I had issues.
How many bad guys are there in this movie? You've got the Riddler, you've got the Penguin, you've got Catwoman helping Batman, Batman.
It doesn't feel overstuffed, although, again, it's almost 3 hours long. Look, I had issues with the length and some climactic over-the-top bombast in the third act that seemed to be saying this gritty noir detective story with superheroes needed the requisite big finish. Why? I don't know. It was going along nice and dark and entertaining, but there's also some canon tweaking that seemed a weird, like a backstory too far. But the action, art direction, mystery, and scored big. All in all, pretty damn good and worthy of another go from this team, especially considering a final scene that unspools. It's in theaters. It's The Batman. Again, not great, but I thought, definitely worth watching if you're a fan of the genre.
Wow, how about that? That's very impressive. I thought you were leading up to not liking it, but it turned out not bad.
Okay. Well, when 3/4 of a movie has me engrossed and excited, the last quarter isn't going to just kill the buzz entirely. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Well, there you go.
It's not about how you feel.
Okay. Well, it is. He's the critic, right?
Anyway,
go ahead.
Fresh is a really fresh take on some seriously nightmarish and truly grisly horror elements that turn the contemporary dating scene and romantic comedy tropes into fresh meat for genre lovers with strong stomachs. And my opinion of Fresh, very tasty and smart and twisted. Sebastian Stan, you know him, you love him as the Winter Soldier in the Marvel movies and TV shows. He's currently Tommy Lee in the Pam and Tommy miniseries on Hulu. Here he's Steve, the handsome guy in a supermarket meet cute, with Daisy Edgar Jones as the unlucky in love Noah. And in a supporting role, you even get Charlotte Le Bon, once the gorgeous and stylish weather girl on a French news show. And she's now getting the roles that Marion Cotillard is too busy to do. Anyway, they're all together in Fresh. And this was directed by Mimi Cave and written by Lauren Kahn. These women must have gone on some awful dates in their time because they made a hell of a scary and memorable movie about the dangers of looking for love in the modern world. And it gets worse than even you can imagine. And I thought it was as good a horror film as I've seen lately. And we've seen one or two other recent corkers in the horror genre, but Fresh is an exciting showcase for some fresh talent.
You like Fresh also. How about that?
It's not about how you feel.
I would not watch it if I was you, Mark. I know about you, and I know about your weak stomach. I wouldn't go for that if I was you.
Okay.
Finally,
right.
I want to talk.
Please.
I want to talk about Lucy and Desi, which is directed by comic actress Amy Poehler of SNL and Parks and Rec. It covers the careers and relationship of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, two of the biggest stars of TV's golden age, who were married in real life and were America's favorite sitcom couple back in the day. Everybody loved
So this
Lucy.
is not being the Ricardos, but this is weird that all these Lucy and Desi projects are coming out.
Well, I have to tell you, everybody, loved Lucy, and people loved Desi, except for the, racists, including network executives who were opposed to a white woman marrying a Cuban band leader and actor on screen, or one would presume in real life. It tells much more of their true story than the recent docudrama.
That's not fake. That's real.
Yeah,
Exactly. Using interviews with the couple's daughter, Lucy Arnaz Luckenbill, and son, Desi Arnaz Jr., testimonials from Carol Burnett and Bette Midler, two women who loved her and were influenced her and received her benediction in real life. And there were home movies, archival footage, interviews with them. All that's missing is anything significant about the impact Desi's philandering must have had on the couple's eventual separation.
So this is a documentary you're talking about.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
No,
Okay.
it's. I'm talking about interviews and archival footage.
No, I know. That's why I let you speak for a little minute or so, and now I'm just drawing everybody's attention back to the fact that this is a real documentary.
No, this is not a fake documentary. This is a real documentary. Anyway, they started the Desi
That's
Lou
not
production.
fake.
That's real.
real.
I know.
Okay.
The Desi Lou production company. Desi's involvement in the TV industry was so significant, he revolutionized the business. Shooting on film, the multi-camera studio circumstance, rerun syndication. That's all Desi Arnaz. And you get that information here. Lucy and Desi is on Amazon Prime and definitely worth watching.
Benediction is a ding word, please.
Let's
Drew.
hope
Thank
so.
you very much. Okay, go ahead. Give me 30 seconds on the Mostly British Film Festival coming
Yeah, this is great. The Mostly British Film Festival is in its 14th year, and it's back at the Vogue Theater. So, pandemic, you can take a flying leap. We're back, and we're back at a theater, and it's basically select dramas, comedies, and documentaries from the UK, Ireland, Australia, and India. The sun never sets on a great British film, apparently, and there's some really terrific ones, including maybe my favorite, The Duke, which is a quintessentially British film starring Jim Broadbent and Helen Mirren. And it's so incredible. It's the true story of an audacious 1961 art theft back in the day. Yes, Brett.
Based on a true story?
Absolutely.
Nice.
There you go.
Anyway,
Very nice.
the Duke, totally entertaining, and Broadbent. And by the way, you'll never believe Helen Mirren. She plays the disgruntled wife, Dorothy, and you've never seen her frumpier and more looking her age ever, ever, ever. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman, but man, they downplay that in the Duke. But there are a bunch of terrific films, including that and Mothering Sunday, which features, among others, Olivia Colman and Colin Firth. Check it out. It runs starting, I guess it goes till
Next
the
week.
17th, and it kicks off on March 10th. And
The Mostly British Film Festival.
You're down to 5%
I know.
battery.
Michael, you are lovely. We love having you in. You pretty much liked everything. The Batman, Fresh, and Lucy and Desi. Not like you loved everything, but you did. You weren't against any of this stuff, and you really love the Mostly British Film Festival and the Duke. We will watch for you in the Marina Times, and the Culture Blaster is on social media. And until next time, Michael, bye-bye. See ya.
See you, Michael.